Hello, this is Lolly, and I actually have another addition to my Signature Swap 18 video series. I thought I was pretty much done with the signature that I'm sending in, and I will give you a link below to the playlist for this so you can see what's going on. If this is your first one in the series to see, this is a signature, and I'm swapping these with 3 other friends, so we will have a total of 4 to put in a junk journal. Well, so yesterday a friend of mine asked me if I could use all these 5-inch fabric squares, and I'm told by a quilter that these are charm packs. And so, like, this is an $8 pack here. I've researched and found that these ones are about $10. There's 42 squares in there. She has, used some of it. Some of it was loose like this. I took all the pinkish ones out since we're doing a Valentine swap, and I just thought, I have to put one of these as a pocket in my signature. So I have been using paper on fabric, fabric on paper for quite a while. And so I've been going through in my mind, several things to do with these 5-inch squares, and I will start a little series on those and how we can use these on paper crafts. You don't have to have a charm pack. You can cut 5-inch squares out of any scraps that you have, and especially scraps that you can get from a thrift store. So that said, I want to show you what I did here. I made a pocket on the inside of the back cover. It's a little crooked because I decided in my haste to not clip the fabric on there before I started, but it's very cute, and as you can see, isn't that adorable? So these come pinked already. In other words, the edges have had a pinking scissors taken to them, but I want, because I'm going to need to cut on them, I brought my pinking shears out as well. You don't have to use pinking shears. You could just cut a straight line on there. So I'm going to show you on this one. There is a right side and a wrong side. I'm going to look at the inside of the back cover here. Set that aside. But as you can see, it's a little wide because this is 5-inch and this is 4, did we say 4.5, 4.25? So it's a little wide, and I want to pull it in a little bit so it's not right there on the seam. So I'm going to have to trim some off, and I see that I'm going to have to do that. So what I'm going to do is to use my scissors, and I'm going to use these polka dots here as a guide to trim that up a little bit. You can see how it just cuts through that like butter because these pinking shears are never used for paper, only for fabric. And now I'm going to look at the next row of dots I want to line up with and cut this side as well. And I'm going to keep these scraps because, I like using everything I take off. There. Okay. So now I'm going to leave the bottom the way it is, but I want, in order to make this pocket where it's easy to pull things in and out of and not have to drag against that edge, I'm going to fold this down and press it. And then I thought how cute it would be to just sew one of these right there across it. So I'm going to press that and show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so here I am. I have it here. I folded this down. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. You can see how I folded that over, and one of the scraps that I cut off, I'm going to go stitch clear across here in a zigzag pattern and then cut off my excess. I'll be right back. Okay, so that is it. It is zigzag. Let's see if I can zoom in even closer there so you can see the stitching on that. This thread is a really pale pink, so if you can see that, let me pull back out again. So now all I need to do is position it on here and stitch down the 2 sides and across the bottom. This time I will be using some binder clips to hold it in place so that it's not twisting all over as I go. So like that. I like to fold these. If I don't fold the arms on it, well, it's already twisted here. I've got it on there crooked. There we go. I like to flatten the binder clips on here because otherwise I can't lay it on my table smoothly. So at least the bottom one needs to be flat against the card. Okay. And the other thing you could do if you don't sew is just to use your Fabri-Tac to glue everything that I've just sewed just now. You can also use the Fabri-Tac to just kind of lightly tack this onto the paper so it doesn't twist on the seam line. Let it dry and still know that it still may gunk up your sewing machine a little bit. It's totally up to you. Okay, here we go. Okay, there that is. And I love this pattern because this reminds me
of some pajamas I had when I was a toddler. So it's just amazing. So just like when you're doing quilts, and you can just use fabric scraps from clothes that you're recycling, you could also use scraps from, you know, your favorite outfits to add pockets to your paper projects that you want to keep. So there's that. It's just so precious, and you can see how you can put something in that pocket right there. So I'm going to finish making pockets in the other two with some of these. I don't have them all identical, but I can add, you know, these to them. Thank you so much for watching and following along on my journey as I do this Signature Swap 18.